Hi everyone, it's Magagumo here with another First Looks video. Today we're looking at a game called Return to Grace. It was just released in the last few days on Gamepass, so I figured I'd take a look. Don't know a lot, somewhere between maybe a puzzle and a walking simulator, set in sort of a retro-futuristic. I heard something described about like maybe 60s, 70s. Just looking at the title, splash here, you can see sort of the big red spot of Jupiter. So, feel like a good thing to go check out. Alright, so. Oh, the stick's not responding. Ganymede, 3820 AD. Okay, very far future. Can you take control? The storm is interfering with my sensors. Some different speakers here. The ancient resting place of humanity's greatest achievement. Hold on. Impact in 10, 9. Oh, there it is. Addy, please respond. Oh my. Everything hurts. You've been out for nearly an hour. What's our status, Alan? We've crashed. Got that. My hull is intact. Oh, so Alan might be the ship. Thrusters 2 and 4 are damaged and will require realignment. So am I back. Can you let me out? Not before we talk about your suit. Okay, talk. I'm reading green on seals, green on batteries. Thermals are, well, not green, but fine, and you have 5.35 hours of oxygen, maybe 6 if we run the scrubbers hot. Okay. But, Addie, we've had this discussion before. You won't have enough. Ellen, it's fine. I have a plan. I'm concerned that I have a plan. Understood. Now open the hatch. The canopy hydraulics are not responding. You'll have to pull the manual release. Okay, just trying out some volume things there. Okay, so let's look around. Okay. Pull. Alright, so that kind of physicality, hold that down. There we go.
Seriously.
A little bit easier to hear now.
This stupid piece of junk.
I'm right here.
We have successfully escaped the ship.
Visibility's terrible. Any sign of the spire?
I'm not picking up anything new, just the original beacon signal. You'll need to use your wayfinder to locate an entry point, if there is one.
Okay.
Alright. Let's figure out where you're at, Grace.
Alright, so Grace is something
You
we're
know
looking
the beacon
for.
could be anything. A lost colony, a relay station.
200 distinct oral histories can't be wrong, Alan. Grace is here.
Locate Spire.
I can't believe this storm.
Alright, so we're following the
Where would
little
this have
green
come from?
thing.
There is record of ancient terraforming on other moons. I think it's safe to assume that Ganymede is not an exception.
Fascinating, 3,800 years, right? So 1,800 years from now kind of thing.
There's something man-made here.
Basically, whatever to us is super futuristic, to them could actually be ancient history. Right.
A weather station, or maybe a seismic station? It looks the era of that relay from the Dawes Sea dig. It's at least 700 years old, Alan.
So 700 years, 3,100. Okay.
There's a little bridge here. There wouldn't be much sense of building this if we weren't within walking distance of the spire.
By all estimates, the beacon is within 400 meters.
This looks climbable.
Okay. So pretty straightforward. I have to say, not a futuristic bridge that I was imagining. These are very scaled
here?
down. I mean, I guess we'll follow the beacon on this one, right? Ah, cute. Didn't matter. Illusion of choice.
Oh no!
I really appreciate them looking up and not down.
There goes the back again.
What happened?
Fell into a stupid fissure. Looking for a new way to reach the spire. Or at least someplace where it will be easier to find my body.
I like that type of humor. Laugh because you can't cry. Now, I personally hate looking down while falling. It makes my heart leap up into my throat, so I appreciate them staring up there. That was comforting. Oh, right, we have to squeeze.
Looks a little tight.
Visuals are, say, fine. I mean, they're serviceable. I don't think they're bad. I like the
opened up again.
cloud. There's some nice kind of haze effects. Not sure what the green and yellow on the side is. Those could be
The
decorative.
surface temperature is dropping. We can't maintain your thermals much longer.
We're close. I can feel it.
Oh, that's
I
not
wish
how
I shared
far
your
or anything like
optimism.
that. Sounds like the beeping is picking up in sort of intensity, higher pitched. So that's useful. Alright, so it says go over there, but obviously we can't go straight up a cliff, or I think obviously we can't go straight up a cliff. Oh, we got a ladder.
This has to be it.
Station.
What are you seeing, Addie?
I'm looking at what must be the spire superstructure. I can't imagine how something this big has gone undetected for this long.
A 500-year-old storm?
I don't know. It doesn't seem possible.
Alright. Oh,
I can see an
yeah, we're
exhaust port
jumping.
that might be low enough to jump to.
There we go. Just kind of honing in on that right height there. Lower gravity, it looks like, given the jump.
Did you make it, Addie?
Falling not
I'll let
being
you
a
know
hole.
in 1 sec. I'm in.
Okay.
All right, Grace. Let's find out what you've been up to for the past 900
Nice
years.
clean shadow there. Okay. That looks more dim. I feel like we're being kind of led this way by the light. Signposting is fine. Crawl under space. No, not there. Maybe this way? Oh, okay, yeah. Had it right by accident. Ooh, that is super dark. Okay, it's a scene transition. So they don't make me navigate here.
Hope my light still works.
Me too. Alright, toggle. Got it. Alright. Nice.
You should see this spooky tunnel I'm in, Alan.
And why would I want that?
Come on, you're not excited?
You crash-landed me in a frozen hellscape and left me for salvage.
10 years of research, not to mention 6 months of spaceflight, are about to pay off.
But at what cost?
Don't ruin this for me.
Snarky little spaceship robot.
Looks like a bit of a labyrinth.
I'm still picking up the signal ahead.
And you can still hear me?
Loud and clear, buddy.
I mean, this could turn south real quick.
The structure looks to be in decent condition.
Another good sign.
Could very easily transform into a horror game right now. Tight spaces,
Everything about
limited
this place
light.
looks 30th century to me. It's the right era, the right size.
Don't say it, Addie. We've had our hopes dashed before.
That one's closed. That one's. Oh, does this matter?
These can't be powered. There must be airflow in the tunnels. I have to say, there's more atmosphere than I was expecting.
Not nearly enough to survive.
He's a very up person. Oh, there we go.
This one's broken. I think I can crawl through.
The colors of her suit are very interesting. Kind of that rainbow hue.
Jeez. That's gotta be over 15 meters.
And if gravity here is 1/6 of that on Earth, then a 15-meter fall here would be the equivalent of falling less than 3 meters at standard G, which you've mastered a couple of times already on the
So,
moon's
I mean,
surface.
falling 7-8 feet down is not fun, but doable if you're careful.
Ah, it's probably fine.
I could calculate outcome probabilities based on previous drop impacts if you've already jumped, haven't you?
I'm glad they've got this little sort of snarkiness back and forth that's important to, in a game like this without a lot of interactivity. Walk, press A. It's those moment to moment sort of chatter that makes them worth playing if they have kind of a good fun vibe. A big one I think about as I'm playing this a bit, this reminds me of
Oh, no.
Firewatch. If you've played that, right? Talking to the woman on the radio in
Whoa.
a national
Are you
park.
hurt, Addy?
That was fun,
I'm
but
working on it.
all because of their interactivity
Structure
or interactions.
enormous.
This has
Take
to
a
be
look.
the Gray Spire, Alan.
And there it is. The perfect setup for disappointment.
Very excited to be being now.
Found the beacon.
Okay. Let's press A.
The transmitter is on some sort of console.
It must be part of a control network for the megastructure.
You think we can make a connection here?
Theoretically, if you run a scan, I can attempt to connect.
Okay. Scan. Press A. So far it's really just A and
Interface
Y.
language is quite old and sophisticated, but we should be able to calibrate your computer to interact. You can use your gyroscope to sync with the terminal. I have the first calibration position. The meter will indicate when you are close.
Alright, so... Oh, weird. So we've got this thing on our wrist, and I'm adjusting... Okay, using the same mechanic they've taught us.
Watch the meter closely and move your hands slowly to find the position.
I overshot, maybe? Okay. There we go. Maybe that? Ah, I see. Okay.
First
Getting the
position is
green.
locked. Second calibration position is up.
Okay. A little finicky, but not too bad. There we go. Oh, there we go.
That's two, and here's the final position.
Pretty straightforward once you get the kind of sense of it. Alright, yeah, there we go. There we go.
That's it. We're in.
Nice. Pretty straightforward, not complex
Accessing
puzzle.
the network now.
That's cute.
Shit.
Alan, you there?
Ooh.
Alan?
Hello. A visitor. Let's have a look.
Where's Alan? Who is this?
Who is this? Who are you? Entering a home without knowing its host.
Are you... Grace?
Good question. I'm not entirely Grace. I'm running on just a small part of her logic processing.
Grace is still here.
The super
And
AI.
what brings you here?
My name is Adamari Ito. I'm an explorer.
I must apologize, Adamari. It would appear I have lost much of my capacity. I cannot see very far beyond the room we are in.
I've lost connection with my ship's AI.
You won't need Alan here. I can show you around.
Poor
Will you
Alan.
be able to let me out of this room?
Of course. But until we are able to restore power to the station, I will require your assistance. There should be a manual winch set in the floor at the foot of one of the sliding doors.
Escape room. Be interesting if we hear both from this sort of partial Grace / Alan at the same time, if they're gonna like jump
Look
back
for a
and forth.
hinged floor grate at the foot of one of the
Oh, there.
doors.
This must be it.
Working the winch will open the door.
Appreciate them giving me a moment to like fiddle before actually being asked
Do you know
or
where
being
Grace
told
has
what
been
to
all
look
this
for.
time?
Grace went somewhere?
She's been gone for hundreds of years.
I am running on a very old server. My memories predate the completion of the Gray Spire.
Grace ushered in humanity's golden age. Peace across the system, booming interplanetary trade, scientific marvels, colonies beyond the orbit of Neptune. And then she was gone, and it all fell apart.
I'm sorry, I don't
Like a
remember.
kind of a Dark
Well,
Ages
you're a lot
following
more than an
Rome.
archaeologist usually gets.
Good physicality, right? You know, making you work to ratchet it. Keeps you feeling engaged rather than just press A and watch your character animation do it.
The first step to restoring Grace is to bring the Spire's power station back online.
Let's do it.
So a game.
I'll light the way.
Oh wait. So games like this, right? Like they really gotta compel you with the story. You gotta really want to know what's going on. I do enjoy this sort of second Dark Ages in space vibe. So I'll be really curious if that's enough kind of to propel me forward.
What do I do here?
This is a security panel. I am decrypting the pattern now. Ah, yes. Simple enough. You'll need to light up 9 buttons, forming a square at the center of the panel.
Okay.
Okay. The 9 buttons in the center.
That is what I said.
If you're not Grace, then what do I call you?
Pretty
I
straightforward.
don't believe there are any identification strings in my base logic that would suffice.
I'll call you Logic then. For now. Until we have a better idea of who you are. And, you can call me Addie.
I will refer to you as Addie, then, until we have a better idea of who you are.
Nice.
Do they not have squares where you are from?
Just give me a second.
I was waiting to hear your responses. I was trying not to interrupt with new.
So what exactly are
Dialogue.
you?
The station's emergency server had defaulted to Grace's original logic processing. That's me, as you've suggested. The server can also run a program dedicated to the control of infrastructure, and a third system dedicated solely to empathizing with and understanding humans.
It's a whole system
When
just for
power
that.
is restored, Grace's primary servers should come online, and we will become some small part of Grace's consciousness.
A little too.
This looks like metallic rock.
The power station is set into the spire's foundation stone.
The foundation stone would have been an asteroid, right?
Most certainly. About 50 cubic kilometers, from what I can recall.
Well,
Amazing.
that's what they
Most
just.
accounts of Grace's origins talk about an asteroid
Yeah.
being pulled from the heavens. Makes sense. There wouldn't be any construction resources on Ganymede and nothing to anchor the structure.
It's kind of icy.
I can't imagine the effort it would have taken to redirect an asteroid that big. We don't do anything like that today.
Kind of a cool thought. Weird thought. Like slamming an asteroid into a moon to
Can you open this?
build with.
With some difficulty. I will need to direct power from logic to control processing, and I will not function at the same cognitive level until full power is restored.
What do you mean, at the same level?
Good luck, Addie.
Okay, so no, it's just us.
You still there?
Where would I have gone?
You sound a
Yeah.
little different.
Interesting.
Just stronger. The voice of control resonates through the very walls of the structure. I shall start the turbine after you prime the generators that open the spillway.
And this turbine still works?
It worked before, and it will work again.
Very
You
noticeable.
shall find the generators on the platform at the other side of the room.
No crane yet.
Alrighty.
Alright, I like the different kind of side characters here.
These look like holding tanks. How exactly do these turbines work?
Go to the 3 generators overlooking the turbine.
A lot of interesting visuals here. It seems like a lot of things to interact with. These like servers.
What happened here?
Open to two ends.
Someone
Whoops.
ripped this apart.
Enough, Addie. You must go to the generators.
I want to
So,
explore.
why do you need me to start these?
Tradition. A time-honored failsafe of including human hands in the operation of this station.
Okay, so I'm holding this to crank it up.
So, do you share memories with the logic processor?
Indeed. We are all part of Grace. Aspects of her infinite power. Shadows of what was, and promises of what will be. I was the light that shone in the darkness. I was the hand that divided the firmament.
I just want to say the different voices reminds me a lot of like Disco Elysium, right? The different elements of your. Well, that's not
The
good.
turbine has failed us.
That's not good.
I must call upon you to cast out the wicked instrument,
The what?
the broken turbine. You must go to it now.
Alright.
It's definitely got a style. I like that. I mean, it definitely keeps me kind of hooked. To know they kind of talk differently, different intonations. Yeah, so it reminds me of Disco Elysium, the different facets of your personality. Each one of them had sort of a certain style of speaking and thinking, and I loved when they started interacting with each other, and sometimes being sort of what's the word? Unreliable narrators, right? They would tell you things and it was wrong. I'll be
Yeah.
curious how that works with this. If maybe we're gonna talk to different elements of Grace's personality and if
I'm
they
safe
interact.
to be down here, right?
You shall not be harmed. You must uncouple the safety
I thought we were gonna
latches.
interact with this.
That sounds unsafe.
It is not.
Oh, control always has to have the last word. Not sure how often this saves. That'll be interesting to see.
You must now go
Breakpoints
to the
are-
magnetic crane.
Oh, I did see that crane. It was the first thing I wanted to fiddle with and was told no. Go check out the
You're
generators.
sure I'll be able to fix this?
If you trust in my word, yes.
Be nice to, I mean, walk a little faster. It's not bad though. It's a decent clip. I'm jonesing for a sprint button, you know. Maybe I'm missing it, but I'm pressing in all the buttons. Be some reflection, kind of nice use of light and shadow.
You must first cast out the old turbine.
It's very biblical. Alright, so I hold that. There we go.
Now cast aside the wretched unit.
Guess we just put it back. Maybe it gets fixed. I don't know. That was pretty sparing.
Now you shall place the new
I didn't
turbine.
have to be right on it for it to lock in, which is fine, right? Because it's like, I'm not playing this because I'm trying to test my fine motor controls or motor skills. So a generous sort of, yeah, you're in the right direction. Go ahead and put it up, pick it up, put it down is perfectly fine with me. Shiny.
Everett?
Hello?
Everett, is that you?
Grace?
Everett.
Interesting. A little mystery. Good.
Behold my power.
What's happened?
I am reborn. Humanity will once again flourish in the brightness of my glory.
This isn't right. Our processing has not combined.
There you
Grace
go.
has not been restored.
Competing voices.
I think she was here for a moment. She was calling to someone. Do you know who Everett is?
No. With power restored, my mind is clearer, sharper. But I could not tell you who Everett is.
You must leave this place at once. Return to your vessel and spread word of my return. From Sol's fiery core to the icy Kuiper expanse.
Kuiper belt is where Pluto is found in.
I've hijacked the volume control. I don't feel like this is going to be a short commandment. We'll see how long before he notices.
It took me nearly a year to get here. I want to know if Grace can be brought back.
There is more complex to explore if you head back to the control room through which you entered. We should determine where in the megastructure my central processors are located. Perhaps along the way you may learn more about this Everett.
I forbid you to linger a moment longer.
And he's back.
Like a divine comet, dive from the outer reaches and spread light and understanding to the inner
Please.
worlds.
I'm not leaving.
Yet more insolence.
Alright, looks like it's saved.
Do you know what these are?
I have no record. They are likely parts to support the workings of this station.
Okay.
They're cartridges.
Nothing. Wonder if that's the don't have the right voice, or maybe we have to come back. I'm really curious about open panel. I know this is not what they told me to do, but I really like not doing what people tell me to do in games, so let's at least scope that out. Oh, nope. So the only interaction there was to get yelled at by control because I wasn't focusing on the generator work. Fair enough. Definitely a slow burn. It'll be interesting to see if it's just sort of more of a walk, press A, you know, if there's going to be any sort of more complex puzzles. For the moment, I'm vibing on the story. This is sort of a real chill game, kind of a break from something a little bit more hectic. But at the moment, I wouldn't say it's deeply engaging. Much more just kind of a low-key thing.
So, are there any accounts as to why Grace was shut down in the first place?
There's no electronic record at all.
See?
That would have been
Dark
lost
Age.
during the Great Dark Age.
Dark Age?
Much of humanity's record keeping would have been managed by Grace. So, she went down 900 years ago, so did the ability to record what happened.
It's like losing the internet
The
in our
research
day
for
and
that
age.
meter was based on oral histories mostly, and some artifacts we uncovered on Earth and Mars. Relay devices that were once connected to Grace's network.
Then we share an interest in shedding light on this Dark Age.
To say humanity's progress doesn't have to be linear, right? We can shoot for the stars and come crashing back down for a
From what
while.
I can tell, There is some sort of transit system on the other side of the control room, which should lead you to the other parts of the spire.
So far, the vibe here is sort of humans are the only race, or at least that's as much as they know.
I will illuminate the door leading to this transit system.
Helpful. Oh, there we go. So we got kind of a hub structure. Yeah. No, I don't know why I peeked around the corner there. I can't help it. It's kind of fun. You get a little physicality, makes it more interesting. Oh, now there are these little
Alas, I require your
dot
nimble
panels.
fingers again.
Alright, what's the pattern?
Another easy one. The Phoenician letter Tau.
Who would know that?
I don't know. Perhaps an archaeologist?
Rude.
How about the Greek letter Chi?
I don't. Okay. It has been a long time since I've looked at the different letters. I'm just gonna make sure it's not hiding behind my face there. Roman numeral 10? That's an X. Oh, sorry. 1 second.
Just give me a sec.
Alright, sorry, I was fixing volume there. She made some snarky comments, an extra clue, so it's very time-based, right? Like, the slower you are, they're giving you more information. So there's a snarky comment about how you sign documents. A big X.
This is not the way to your ship.
Do you believe Grace could have done something to cause humans to turn on her?
Like what?
Like becoming too overbearing?
Humans would have been given no reason to question my bearing.
It's one of my theories, yes.
Yeah, right. I mean, if there's
This
no
must
knowledge,
be a main entrance.
could be any reason.
I'm guessing the landing pad is on the other side of the big doors.
That's correct, Addie. Though the pad appears to be buried under meters of ice.
This looks Olympian or Neo-Egyptian. The triangle must
Olympian.
represent the spire. Beautiful, don't you think?
Does it matter if it's beautiful?
That's another way to see it, sure.
The empathizing with humans and understanding them part not turned on yet. Let's see, so we got some buttons.
What are these for?
They appear to be terminals for processing visitors to the spire, but they no longer store any useful information.
Yeah, kind of like kiosks. Okay.
Cool statue. Or maybe it's a mobile.
That's cool.
Do the little moons
Kind of
move?
like a copper surface.
Perhaps at one point in time, though I'm not sure of the relevance of that.
Just curious.
So you know, there's only like 4 moons, and it's been a long time since I've done astronomy, but I think Jupiter has over like 40 or 50 or something like that. But maybe these are like major moons, or you know, a puzzle.
Is this an airlock?
Yes, the spire beyond this point can be pressurized.
I mean, why not,
I
right?
assume your suit has limited oxygen?
I have about 5 hours left.
That's quite a risk you're taking. Were you assuming station life support could be restored?
Well, can it?
I believe so. But for reasons I'll never understand, life support is controlled by empathy processing. I suppose they had to give it something to do. I will enable that programming now.
Oh, we got a new voice.
Hello, Addie.
Hello. So you're going to get oxygen going?
The process has already begun, my friend. No rush. If you let me accompany you along the path ahead, I can balance the environment to your life force as we walk.
Oh, here we go.
Alright, so we got 3 voices. Oh, chill.
Wow. How are these plants still intact?
My first question.
They must have been subject to a very sudden drop in temperature while still alive.
What is this place?
Remaining connected to one's natural world is important for a person's well-being. A fitting starting point for those entering the structure, don't you think? Do you recognize any of the objects in this section of the garden? I'd love to know what you think of them. For the calibration process.
This must be terraclassical, or made in the style.
The ancient Greeks boarded their ships and set out to explore the world, discover its gods, and conquer its monsters. You are an explorer, Addie. But are you here to meet a god or to slay some beast, I wonder?
Am I doing this right?
You are doing splendidly.
I'm sorry. This cannot possibly be necessary.
Temperature preferences can vary considerably between individuals. Careful calibration is essential.
How about above freezing and we proceed?
It's really up to Addie. If you don't wish to consider more objects, I can set the temperature within a survivable range, and you can move on to the flower bed next to the stairs.
I'm going to explore this, but I'm definitely with logic. I'm like, empathy is exhausting. It's just too much.
I have no idea what this is. A weapon or tool of some kind?
It's a device for working metal. Why do you suppose it's in this garden,
All
Addie?
these questions.
It could be a symbol of hard work.
All these questions.
An industrious future? Or a laborious past, perhaps?
What's the point of this, Addie?
I'm an explorer. I'm here to learn. Is this a lantern?
An expression of our certainty in the flow of time.
How so?
A craftsman spent months carving this remarkable device based on the absolute certainty that after day, night would follow.
Alright, I follow.
You're not a planner, are you?
I've been told that.
Yeah, that resonates. I wonder if the other side is stuff too. I don't think so. I think it's just this arc.
This statue could be outer colonial. It's simple, but it's quite beautiful, I guess.
And why would its beauty matter?
People like pretty things.
A human truth spanning thousands of years. What would you say these objects have in common?
They're artifacts from long before the building of the station.
The things we leave behind say something about us, don't they?
What a society leaves behind is all we have in understanding how they lived.
But we're interested in what you were willing to leave behind in order to come here.
I haven't left a whole lot, to be honest.
I believe that's all I will need to set the perfect temperature.
Finally.
You can move on to the flower bed next to the stairs.
Oh, but there's one more carving.
This looks like a Pacific revival. Part of an archway, maybe. That's a pretty big piece to ship all this way.
So it must be important. Even though it's no longer holding up a roof.
I guess its purpose has changed.
As can happen with people, too.
Yes, you're very deep and thoughtful. I actually like it, but...
Do you see them, Addie? Life in perfect stillness?
Um...
The flowers defying the hoarfrost. As you have defied the emptiness of space to arrive here.
I guess.
Which one are you?
Pardon me?
Which one of these blooms best embodies your spirit?
Seriously?
It's important I know these things in the balancing of illuminatory ergonomics.
Fancy words do not make this any less idiotic.
Go ahead, Addie. There are no wrong choices.
Oh, logic is my spirit animal.
How about this one?
A solid choice. You walked an unsteady path to get here, and I think you've come in search of comfort, perhaps. Or you wish to become part of something bigger than yourself.
Or there was only yellow and
I'm
red.
making the lighting adjustments now. Perfect timing. The room is fully compressed, and we can go about setting oxygen levels.
Call me old-fashioned, but how about the traditional 21%?
Go ahead and seat yourself at the center of the pergola.
That's pergola. Alright, so I want to wrap up this room before we kind of call it today, but I think we're definitely winding down.
Very good. Now, when you're ready, you can remove your helmet.
Oh, look,
My
now
helmet?
chimes are moving because the
Of
air's in.
course. You can't sample the air I've prepared with it on.
And you're sure it's safe?
Your well-being is the most important thing, Addie. I'm certain it is safe.
Okay.
Now I want you to take a deep breath. A nice, deep breath. Hold it there. 3, 2, 1, and release. Beautiful. And when you're ready, another deep breath in. Deep as you can, Addie. Hold it. 3, 2, 1, and release.
See if this were Bioshock,
Very
I would
good,
pass out.
Addie. Feel all that built-up stress from your long journey here release into the ether.
Oh, please.
Shut out any negative energy and take in another life-nurturing breath.
Yeah, I would definitely be suspicious something is going to
Fill
happen.
those marvelous lungs. Hold it. 3, 2, 1, and release. Wonderful.
Even the station has a limited supply of oxygen.
Next, I want you to really open your body by reaching up toward the sky.
Okay, this is an interesting interaction.
Wonderful. How's that feel, Addie?
Kinda nice?
And we're almost done the calibration. For our last exercise, I will ask you to stand up.
Okay.
Now, once you're centered, you can hold your hands in a relaxed position in front of you. Now transfer your weight onto one foot. I want you to hold that for 10 seconds.
Okay.
What could this possibly have to do with oxygen levels?
It's about balancing.
Literal balancing? Unbelievable.
So for the most part, it's
Almost
balancing
there.
itself up. There we go. Now we're starting to wobble.
3, 2,
It's mostly just changing
1.
between the two
And that's 10
states.
seconds. Excellent, Addie. We've done great work here today. I've made note of these settings for the other parts of the station.
So we can move to the transit system now?
The door out is just up the stairs past the flowers.
I wonder if that's like a challenge calibration, like if somebody has trouble holding down the buttons, tapping, or keeping the balance, maybe those will be less challenging interactions in the future, versus if somebody finds this very, very easy, then maybe there's a little bit more challenging interaction. That would be my general kind of guess. All right. Well, I think we're just going to call that today. Very chill. So this is Return to Grace. I might do a kind of play a little bit more on my own, do a follow-up video, kind of see where it's taken us, see if this is something worth it for others to play. But yeah, nice soothing kind of Zen garden is a good place to end. So thank you very much. This is Magagumo. If you enjoyed watching this kind of first look video along with me, please like and subscribe and take care.